underworld.
Hello world.
It's Halloween night, which can mean only one thing.
It's October the 31st.
More than one thing. We're live.
We are the Unexplainers.
And this is
the Unexplainers live Halloween special. I told you not to do that, John.
Sorry, Mike, sorry. Yes, you heard it there, live and direct.
I'm so excited.
Yes, this is the Unexplainers.
Welcome to the podcast, the BBC Wales podcast of top-rated show, The Unexplainers.
Mm-hmm. We have taken a great mission upon ourselves to discover the truth about witch. We've travelled as far afield as Swansea.
Just past Swansea. I mean, we're talking 42 miles away.
It's a great distance to go, and we're about to unleash our podcast on you.
It's a bit scary.
Mm-hmm. We thought best place to start at the beginning is with a guy called Carl Gough.
Let's do Carl.
Who told us the story of Old Moll.
Strap in.
Truly terrifying. Begin the tape, please. This is Carl, Mike.
Hello, Carl.
Good to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. You are the man to come and speak to about the story of Old Moll.
Well, I will do my very best for you. Take a seat and relax while you can.
He's got a lovely voice, hasn't he?
He's got a lovely voice.
That rocky peninsula that we called Gower has stood out into the sea for time immemorial, a beacon to all the strange and unusual things of this world. Smugglers, shipwreckers, ghosts, and even dragons have their place on Gower. But at one point, a strange and mysterious lady took up residence within the caves of Brandy Cove. Nobody knew where she came from. Nobody ever really knew her real name. She just came to be known as Old Moll. Now, Old Moll kept herself to herself. She did not seek out the company of others, but neither did she keep her presence a secret. Many was the time she would be seen out wandering the fields and commons on Gower. But when you saw Old Moll, you did not approach. You turned away. Because if you could not see Old Moll, then perhaps Old Moll would not see you. And somehow that made you feel safer. But that is not to say close encounters did not occur. A local farmer, Talon Lloyd, encouraged by some bawdy drinking fellows, told of his encounter with Old Moll. He had seen her crossing his fields. She would stop now and again, pick things up from the ground and place them in her pocket. Talon could not abide having her anywhere near his farm, and he strode out across the field shouting and bawling at her to get away. But Old Moll stood her ground, and as Talon came closer, he encountered her white, sallow face, an angry jaw, thin lips that muttered endlessly, but it was her eyes that chilled him most. One eye clouded, silvery, unseeing, but the other of piercing bright blue, staring out from beneath a bedraggled mess of grey hair. The day after he told this story, Talon was found dead, and the people of Gower believed that Old Moll was responsible. Soon there were more rumours. When Old Moll had passed through fields near to livestock, those animals would turn lame or fall ill. If she touched a cow, the milk in its udder would turn sour. There was a young girl who encountered Old Moll and laughed at her haggard face, and from that day on was beset by the cruelest of nightmares. Fear spread across Gower, and that fear over time became hatred, and that hatred, anger. And in the midst of that anger, somebody used a word: witch. Now the people of Gower had a name for their fear: witch. A name that gave the people of Gower permission to rise up and rid themselves of this woman. They went from house to house collecting silver, anything they could find, coins, trinkets, heirlooms. They melted it down at the blacksmith's forge and turned it into silver shot. And then, loading their muskets, a ragtag band set off for Brandy Cove in search of Old Moll. When they found her, they took aim and fired. but only a single silver shot found its mark, and even that only managed to bury its head within her thigh. Old Moll gave out a tormented scream and in an instant transformed herself into a hare, and she sped across the open fields, never to be seen on Gower again, alive at least. For they say when Old Moll finally met her end, her spirit was drawn back to the caves at Brandy Cove. So I warn you both, do not go walking when the moon is hidden, because that is when Old Moll's spirit ventures forth to seek vengeance on the people of Gower.
Well, it's a witch story, isn't it?
It is a witch story, okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, he actually said to us, off air, at the time, that a lot of smugglers started these stories, John.
But it was called Brandy Cove.
You know, a lot of smugglers to keep the authorities away. Although, I'll be honest, if I was a smuggler, I wouldn't call it Brandy Cove.
I know what you mean. It's
like calling it like Cigarette Bay.
Yeah.
Right?